We are raising money today for the victims and their loss of everything in this fire. We hope that you will take some time and call 575 HOPE, 575 4673. We have a group of volunteers standing by, and they are ready to take your phone call. 575 HOPE, 575 4673. And I want to be sure and tell you the stories of the people who live in this community and what they have faced. And we have one of those individuals here with us. Is this Orvin? Is that who I have with us?
Orvin.
Orvin? Can you go ahead and talk for me? Make sure I can hear you.
My name is Orvin and Nadine.
I can't. Can you get his microphone a little closer?
Yep.
Sorry, Orvin, we're working on you here.
You gotta make sure we can hear you. There you go. Try that.
We live at
There we go.
481 American Way.
Yes. So you live right down here. This is your home right here at the end of the street.
It is.
And your home is basically, if I can describe it, you have Van Dyke Way, which is where the homes were destroyed one after the other, and then it comes to a dead end. You're across the street of that dead end, but the fire wrapped around your home, and it also headed back behind these homes and destroyed several structures, correct?
Yes.
Now, were you home when this happened?
Yes, we were.
And how did you first become aware that there was a fire? A knock on the door?
It was.
And who was a police officer who
It was
knocked
a
on the
police
door?
officer, and the police officer had been to our home previously a week earlier
What was he there a week earlier for?
because of a domestic problem that was there, and
Okay.
and our light was on, and so the boy came to our home
Oh,
to
really?
get some
Okay.
help and called the police officers, and the police came. And he looked out there and saw this field that had been burned now. And he said, if anything happens to that and it starts a fire, I will be here and you will be the first one notified.
Really? And this was a week before this fire
Couple of
happened.
weeks.
A
It
couple of
was.
weeks before this happened. We're talking with Orvin and Nadine Butters. Am I saying your last name right?
That's correct.
I'm horrible with names. So,
That's right.
Orvin.
and so he came banging on your door. What did you do then? What did you do next?
It was
I hollered down the hall
Yes.
and told him, come out. We got to get out of the house.
So I came down the hall, got in the front room. He said, "You've got to leave because I'm taking you out of here. That field's on fire."
Yes.
And I said, "I got to go get my shoes." He said, "No, you don't."
Wow.
He grabbed a hold of my arm and ushered me right out of the house.
So you had no time to even think about
We didn't get
possessions, nothing.
No,
You were gone. And so did you leave out the front door?
we did.
And what did you see when you came out of the front door?
I saw the fire,
Fire
right here
under
by
this
the
house.
tree, and it veered and came down this way toward Van Dyke.
And how big would you say the flames were, in your estimation, at that point?
Humongous.
So this thing was a raging...
It was a
well, you can
raging
see the
fire.
tree over there.
Yes.
It's about 30 feet tall, and it got most of
completely
that.
engulfed. I bet with a fire that size, you could feel the heat as you came out of your front door. Could you feel the heat?
I could not feel one thing in the house. We have double paned windows. I smelled no smoke, nothing like that, because all of our doors were shut. But as soon as the door opened, I saw fire all along that bunch of trees on the south side of our house.
What,
And it was going this direction, and the fire had already started over to the end of their house.
so could you see their home on fire as you came out
Oh,
of the
yeah.
front window,
Well,
front door?
the truck and a trailer that they had, and it was heading for a shed that they had on the end of their house.
Wow. And I'm curious. I mean, it's going back to this moment. What was going through your mind?
I was just like a little sheep being led away from the danger. You know, There comes a time when you just follow.
You just follow. You just go. And that's what you did. And where did you go? Where did the officer take you?
House.
So you went to
We got to a car right here on the corner, and his name was Kolovich, and he took us to their home, and then he came back. He was a fireman at one time, and he was like on reserve.
Mm-hmm.
And helping these police officers and firemen and that, he came back. Didn't work on the fire, but worked in the outer area. Starting with, there was probably about 4 fire trucks. Then we had, five to 8 fire departments from different areas come.
Wow.
And we just stayed in the house and just waited for word. That's all we could do.
We're talking with Orvin and Nadine Butters. They are residents here in Tooele. They live at the end of this street that was completely devastated and burned down. Complete and absolute devastation. That must have been, how long was it? How long did you have to wait to find out whether or not your home was okay or not?
Probably
till
didn't
about
know for sure until
4
the next day.
in the morning.
About 4 in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
And what did you hear? And how did you hear?
We said our house was saved.
You did.
One of the members of our ward came to the home and reported to us that our home was still standing.
Which is quite remarkable if you can see what's going on. Basically, the front of your house, the back of your home, and the side of your home engulfed in flames. Your home
No, it wasn't.
No?
No fire on
There
our
was
home.
there was no.
No, your home was fine. Your backyard was fine.
No, the backyard.
Oh, the backyard was.
We lost the shed and
Okay.
things on the back.
But the
fence.
home, okay. Any damage to the home?
No damage to our home.
Just fire.
Smoke inside.
So you do have smoke damage on the inside.
Well, not damage, just smoke
Yes,
from
damage.
the fire.
I think
Yeah,
You're gonna call it
damage.
damage.
They've taken everything out. That's what they're doing right now, is removing everything that was in our house.
It is remarkable to think that in that blaze, your home still standing, and across the street, your neighbor, there's nothing left.
The fire marshal said there were 3 things that kept us from getting our home engulfed. That was keeping that ditch cleaned,
Okay.
keeping the trees in a good shape, and they were the buffer for the fire, and having a tin roof on our house.
On your home. Those 3 things. Wow. That
Otherwise, I think that this whole area down here would have been gone up.
I think that is a great point, because your home was right up against the field that caught on fire, and then after your home there is just a line of homes that, just like here to our left, that line of homes, one after the other after the other.
And then if you go back in behind our house, you'll see that there's some other places that were destroyed as
Other
well.
homes are gone
2 other homes behind you.
behind us.
Wow. Amazing story. So you guys are okay. We're glad to hear it.
Yes.
Have you heard from your neighbors? Do you know what their circumstances
Only a
are?
few.
We do
know
not.
one about-
You don't.
We don't know anything. Not about these people. We've run into some that's in the same unit that we're staying in. I mean, the same Best Western.
Okay. So,
But you know, we kept working on that ditch. I want to point out to you that ditch has not been kept. And so, as a family project, we cleaned that ditch, cleaned all the stuff out of the trees on that south side of our house, and those are the things that
Saved
kept
your home.
us.
Saved your home. It's an important message we hear every year this time of year. Not normally in communities like yours, but in, where people have cabins or homes near the wilderness, that they really need to think about the surroundings of their home.
That's right.
Keeping their
That's true.
their lawns trimmed. Don't let things get out of control. And here we are. You guys are right here in a residential neighborhood, and that saved your home. Remarkable story. Well, we are so glad that you're alive. Thank you, and well, and when do you think you'll be able to move back in to your home?
Not until they get it cleaned out.
So it's going to be
So
a little
it'll
while.
be a week, maybe a week and a half to
Okay.
2 weeks.
What would you say to anyone listening to this program that we're encouraging to donate money to the?
We're going to help.
Yes. You're going to
I mean,
help. You're the ones
yeah,
who
we
need the
will.
help.
No.
We're here to help you.
We don't need the help like some of the families. Like Lapril's been in touch with one family that had no insurance on their home. Just moved in about 2 to 3 months ago, and they didn't get insurance on their home. Fire from this area blew over into an area where they live, caught their house completely on fire, and gutted it.
Wow. And no insurance.
No insurance.
So
They just barely moved in.
Starting over from scratch, completely.
Yeah, they will be.
Well,
Yep.
thank you.
And the
Yes.
other thing I would say to every one of these young people, get an education. I don't care what it is, whether it's a university or a trade school.
Okay.
But I think they need to prepare themselves to make a living that will afford them the opportunities that are here.
Well, and certainly preparedness, emergency preparedness in general, is top of mind after an experience like this. Thank you, Orvin and Nadine Butters. Thank you so much for joining us. We want you to call this number, 801-575-HOPE, 801-575-4673. There is a huge need here, and it is your opportunity to pick up the phone and make a donation. Please do so now, 575-HOPE, 575-4673.